Hi. Hi, you guys. We are live today, and I don't want you to be too alarmed by my title, but I just have to tell you guys that as much as I love home and family and love and relationships, to the equal extent, I hate abuse. So I just have to cover this topic today. I see it a lot with my clients. I see it in my office, and I do my best to help people to get away from abusive relationships or to learn how to cope differently to not enable an abuser. So I just want to give you guys some tips, because if you are in an abusive relationship, or if you know someone who is in an abusive relationship, I don't want for a minute anybody to stay with an abuser. I don't want anyone to be abused, okay? So we need to each take the personal responsibility to protect ourselves, and especially to protect our children. And if you are in an abusive relationship, you're gonna have to be brave and do what you need to do differently to recognize the signs of an abuser and to get out. So a few weeks ago, I was talking about a fundraiser that I was involved in with a local charity that helps women and children that are in abusive relationships. I'll introduce myself. My name is Trina Titus Lozano, and I'm a counselor and an ordained Christian minister, and I love giving you guys advice and wisdom every day at noon and 9 on all sorts of topics, but marriage and family and home and relationships and emotional health. If you guys Periscope with me yesterday, I see some of my faithful followers. We were in my mom's house, and we were baking pies and talking about hospitality and holidays and all these fun things. But if you are with an abuser, or you are in an abusive relationship, it's impossible, because they ruin every holiday, because they ruin every day, really, with their anger, with their abuse, with their manipulation. So I just want to give you some signs of an abuser so that you don't think that you're crazy, because that's what they try to do. They try to manipulate things to make you think that you're the crazy one, or that you're the one that isn't perfect enough, or that you're the reason that they're angry. And so I just want to clarify this for people that need this clarity. A personal story, I was on Dr. Phil last summer with a good friend of mine, and I was actually a bridesmaid in her wedding, and she's also a client. I was the court-appointed mediator for them. I still am, actually. But we were on Dr. Phil because when she and I had not had communication for many, many years. And then when we got reconnected at a reunion, she asked me some questions, and these questions in the video that she showed me on her phone helped me to see very clearly that her husband was massively abusive. And she was asking me what she needed to do differently, because she had believed that it was all her fault, which is what her husband had convinced her of. So you guys, that's just one story of somebody that I was very close to, that I had no idea was in a seriously abusive relationship. I mean criminal. It was criminal, just that bad. And so I just want to bring these things and make you guys aware. So I'm going to go ahead and welcome all my Periscopers. And if you know someone that needs this Periscope, please share and tell them to watch. And thank you guys for the hearts, because the more hearts, the better. It helps me know that you're with me, and I really appreciate that. So all the green and blue and pink, I love all of this. So you guys, thanks Crystal and Denise and everybody that's logged on. I was just sort of giving an introduction, but I saw all of you, and I really appreciate you guys sticking with me in my Periscope. So this is important information. I'm going to go through it kind of quickly, because it really is self-explanatory. Number one sign of an abuser, okay? They're going to push for very quick involvement, okay? They're going to come on strong, claiming things like, I've never felt love like this before, and they're going to very much pressure you into a quick involvement, committed relationship, okay? A quick marriage, a quick involvement. Then there will be jealous. Number two, jealous. Very, very jealous. And in fact, at first it'll make you feel good, like, oh, they really care about me. But no, they're excessively possessive. They call constantly. They visit unexpectedly. They prevent you from going anywhere without them. They check on you. They check up on you. They don't trust you. It's this possessive, jealous, controlling in a very unhealthy way. See, love doesn't behave that way. See, love doesn't push for quick involvement. Love can wait. Love is careful and cautious, and it can wait. Love is patient. Love is not jealous. But see, these are two signs of an abuser. Okay. Number 3, controlling. See, love is not controlling either, because love trusts, love gives. Love is nothing like somebody that's being controlling. So if you're in a relationship and this person is very controlling, meaning they interrogate you, they want to know where you are, what you're doing at all times. They insist that they have all the control of the money. They want you to ask them permission to go anywhere. They don't care about you. They don't care about what you want or where you want to go. They only care about themselves, where they want to go, and they have completely they want to dominate and control literally everything. So this is a real sign of an abuser, okay? Someone who's loving, a loving relationship does not act that way, okay? Number 4, they have unrealistic expectations. So they expect you to be perfect, and they expect you to meet their every need. So they're not about meeting your needs. They're all about you meeting their needs. So you can Google narcissism, see if they are a narcissist, where everything goes through a lens of me. The world revolves around me. I want my needs met. Okay, love doesn't do that. Love is about meeting your needs. Love is caring about you. And I even sacrifice anything that I want first and foremost because I care about you. I care about the way you feel. I want to care about you. I want to love you. I want to serve you. And that's even to a place of being sacrificial. I take the back seat. I prefer you. That's what love does. But an abuser never does that. An abuser always is very, very, very selfish. Very selfish. Okay. Hi, Brian. Thanks for joining. Isolation. Okay. An abuser will always isolate you. They will isolate you. They will act like they want you to themselves. Okay. They will keep you from having close relationships with friends and family. Really, they're afraid that you're going to tell other people the truth about them. So they will isolate you. They will cut you off. They will accuse people of your supporters, and they will accuse your supporters, your friends and family, your support system. They'll accuse them of trying to come between the two of you. So really what they try to do is they are preventing you from connecting with other people. See, love doesn't do that because love is so secure, that I'm so secure in our relationship that I trust, and I want you to have a support system besides just me. I want you to, thanks Nadia for that encouragement. I want you to have best friends. I want you to be close to your parents. I want you to be close to your siblings. I want you to feel free to have other relationships that are close, that are not about me. But see, a narcissist won't be that way, and also an abuser will not be that way. They want to isolate you, because they don't want you, quote unquote, talking behind their back. But you know what? If they didn't have anything to hide, they wouldn't be worried about that. Okay, number 6, they make everyone else responsible for their feelings. Well, y'all, you're not responsible for other people's feelings, and we're not responsible. So they'll say things like, you make me angry, instead of, I am angry. So I have to take personal responsibility for my anger, okay? And the abuser never will. They always blame. They blame you. If you wouldn't do that, well, then I wouldn't get angry. If you wouldn't do this, well, then I wouldn't have to cuss you out. If you didn't do this, well, then I wouldn't have to isolate you. If you didn't do this. So they never take personal responsibility for themselves. They never take personal responsibility. They're never teachable. They never want to go to counseling unless the counselor might agree with them against you, but boy, once that doesn't happen, then they're going to be against you again. They blame you for being the bad guy. So they never take personal responsibility, even for their own emotions. They blame you for their emotions, okay? They will typically be very cruel and not mind being cruel. Okay, cruel to you, cruel to anybody around them, cruel to, somebody in the traffic, cruel, mean to that person at the checkout line. They're just mean and cruel, and they don't mind it. In fact, they feel justified. They'll be cruel to animals. They'll be cruel to kids. That's all a sign. They'll be playful during sex, but they get forceful. So they cross the line of being playful to becoming very forceful during sex, where they'll enjoy throwing you down, holding you down, wanting you to do things that maybe you don't want to do. And then they'll blame you for not meeting all of their needs. Same thing. Verbal abuse. An abuser has no problem with verbal abuse. They will constantly criticize you. They will blatantly say cruel things. They'll degrade you. They'll call you ugly names. Sometimes they'll wake you up. They won't even let you sleep peacefully. They'll wake you up and they'll even be mean in the middle of the night and be controlling then. But there's always that component to verbal abuse, okay? They'll call you names, they'll cuss, they'll swear, and then they turn around and blame you that you're the one that made them do that, okay? And they're not apologetic. It's all about you, okay? They'll have sudden mood swings. So they'll switch from sweet to violent. Sweet to violent, sweet to violent, literally in a matter of minutes. Anything can set them off, okay? And they will have threats of violence. They'll say things like, I'll break your neck, I'll kill you. And then they'll say things, and then you're like, I can't believe you're saying that. And they'll say, everybody talks that way. I was just kidding. And they'll just sort of slough it off. Well, no, everybody doesn't talk that way. Healthy people don't say things like that. Healthy people are not mean. Healthy people in loving relationships aren't cruel. So these are signs, y'all, that you must not ignore. If you're in a relationship with someone that is mean to you, is cruel to you, and then blames you that they're mean, that is a problem. It is possible, very oftentimes, it will be, Cecily, a repeated behavior from a way that they grew up. That's right. But that is still no excuse. That if they have if they have issues from childhood, they have to go to counseling. They have to be healed. But if they're hurting people hurt people, that's a fact. But if you're with an abuser that needs healing, tell them, draw the line. You're going to counseling or we're not together. Because see, we're each personally responsible to protect ourselves. We're each personally responsible to say, you know what, I can't take, if you're going to be mean and cruel to me, that's hurtful. My desire is that you would love me. My desire is that you would care for me. My desire is that you would be faithful to me and that I could trust your word. These are my desires, but I don't have the power to make this happen. And I will accept the fact that I can't change you. I can't change you. I also accept the fact that you are a very hurting person and you need help. But until you get help and until you get better, we're not going to be together, okay? So I'm going to go to a safe place, and when you get better, maybe we'll have a second chance. But until you get better, until I see these signs of your health, your emotional health, then I'm not going to be with you because I absolutely will not. I will not be abused by you, okay? So y'all have to draw the line and you have to take the personal responsibility to protect yourself from an abuser. So if it's a dating relationship, break up, walk away. If it's a marriage relationship, do not have children with an abuser or do not have more children with an abuser if you have children. Don't do it, okay? Because they're abusing you, they'll abuse the children as well. So you guys really have to take seriously if you are in an abusive relationship, and you must take the steps that it takes to protect yourself and to protect your children until the person that you're with either gets better, gets help, or maybe if they don't want help, then they won't ever get better. I don't know. They have to be able to have enough self-awareness that they make the decision that they will self-manage and that they will take personal responsibility for their behaviors. Okay, y'all? I'm going to close with a wrong belief and a right belief. Because if you are somebody that is easily manipulated, or you find yourself that you end up being in an abusive relationship over and over and over again, you've been with more than one abuser and then you end up being with another abuser, and it goes both ways. It's not just men abusing women, it's also women abusing men. It truly goes both ways. But it's 80% versus a 20%. So more often it's men that are the abusers, but 20% of the time it's women. So it can be both. But here is the wrong belief in regards to this root cause of being manipulated. Thank you, Samantha. I'm glad that this is helpful to you because I do not want anyone in an abusive relationship, okay? I hate abuse. I literally hate abuse, okay? I love people, which is why I hate abuse. I want everyone to be well cared for and to be in a loving, committed relationship that is, that's full of love and peace and joy, and that's a benefit to your life. But an abusive relationship's not like that. It just causes stress and discomfort. Okay, the wrong belief, y'all. Here's the wrong belief. I must have the approval of others in order to feel good about myself. If that is your belief, you will find yourself in abusive relationships, and you will see that you're staying in an abusive relationship. So you cannot keep that as your right belief, because it is a wrong belief. Okay? I must have the approval of others to feel good about myself. No, you do not need the approval of others to feel good about yourself. You do not need the approval of others to feel good about yourself. So it is wrong to think that you need the approval of others to feel good about yourself. No, you don't. You need the approval of God, and you need to be able to have good self-awareness to say, you know what? I'm a good person. I know I'm a good person, and this person is so critical and so cruel and so rude to me, but I know that that's not true. I know that that really is not true. That's not who I am. Here's the right belief. I must not live for the approval of others, okay? But instead, I realize that God will meet my inner needs. God accepts me. He accepts me totally. He loves me unconditionally. And I don't need the approval of others, because I know that through God, I am loved, significant, and secure. So if you don't understand that, Samantha, you're a good person. See, because if you are a good person and you know that you are, and there's people around you being cruel to you, then you've got to draw the boundary. Sometimes it's parents that are cruel to you. Sometimes it's step-parents that are cruel to you. Sometimes it's siblings that are cruel to you. Sometimes it's neighbors or coworkers or bosses, or someone that you're in a marriage relationship with or a dating relationship with. But if people are cruel to you, you must draw the boundary and say, you know what? I don't need to stay in their company. I don't need that in my life. It is too negative. So I will take the personal responsibility to be in a safe place. I will take the personal responsibility to trust God, that God is going to keep me safe. And I'm going to trust that God is the only one that matters, okay? I'm going to trust the truth that God says that I'm a good person, that I am loved and I'm significant and I am secure. And that's what God says I am. That's who He says I am. So you know what? I don't need your approval. And if you think that I'm not perfect enough for you, whenever I try all day, every day to love you, and you still keep blaming me for your anger, then, you know, that's your problem. But that is not my problem. So y'all, that is the right belief. So make sure that your love, significance, and security is first and foremost coming from God, your Father, your Heavenly Father, from Jesus, your Savior. And these things will make you not vulnerable to being with an abuser. And your relationship with God and trusting God, okay, He can be trusted. And when you trust God with your life, okay, Cecily, and when you trust Him for your safety, God will give you the courage to draw the boundaries that you need to draw to leave. Okay, so if you got to pack up your kids and walk away, you will. If you just need to walk away, you will. If you need to draw a boundary and say, you know, Mom and Dad, every time I come to your house, you're cruel and you're mean, so I'm not going to come anymore. Whatever it is, y'all, draw the boundary, okay? Okay, draw the boundary, because you're worth more than that. You really are. You're loved, significant, and secure, and God loves you, and He sees you, and He sees that you are good. Okay, if you see that you yourself are an abuser, then go get counseling. Get some help so that you are not stuck in a place of being an abuser, okay? So if you are too controlling, if you are cruel, if you are mean, if you blame other people for your anger, then you go get some counseling, okay? Because there's hope. There's hope for you. Everybody can change, okay? So Hope says, have only positive expectations. Yeah. Even an emotional abuser, that's right. I had a client in my office yesterday who was being very seriously emotionally abused. You know, she had believed the lie that it was her fault. It wasn't her fault. She was as sweet as can be. But yeah, so that's not okay. I told her, you know what? It's not okay for your husband to swear at you, and for him to call you names, and for you to be okay with it. So you need to draw the line and tell him he does that again, you're walking away, and you'll come back whenever he changes his attitude. Because you're not going to put up with it. That's emotional abuse. Husbands and wives should not swear at each other, should not call each other names, okay? So you guys are going to have to draw the line. Now, if the person that you're married to, if they admit that it's wrong and they seek help, well, then they don't fall into the same category. because a true abuser will never admit that they're wrong. They will always blame you for the way they behave. And even if they admit that they're wrong, they'll qualify it. They'll say, well, I'm wrong, but you're wrong too. Or they refuse counseling, they refuse help. And they just refuse to take a look at their true behavior. So there's hope for all of us, though. But I just want to give you guys these signs of an abuser so that you can do your part to keep yourself safe. Okay, guys? So stay safe, stay healthy, and yeah, this kind of counts as counseling, but if you can find someone there locally, that might help too, because then it's more specific. Okay, Cecily, God bless you. God bless all of you. Thank you so much for periscoping with me, and I hope and pray that your emotional health is as important to you as it is to me. God bless you. Bye-bye.